Good morning. Well, apparently you can buy the Brooklyn Bridge, or rather a non-fungible token of it, an NFT according to Coinbase. It's Tuesday. This is the breakdown. The Nasdaq could finally be changing directions. It led US indices up yesterday with a 1% gain as both the 3- and 6-month bills were auctioned last night with a slight reduction in yields. New York's manufacturing index improved nicely to 17 points in March, while in Canada, housing starts stood at a better than expected 246K in February. We'll be watching the dollar today as US retail, import and export data come in at noon, followed by industrial and manufacturing production at 1:15 GMT. Against the pound, we can see the counter-currency strengthening already rather than waiting for tonight's data. We're clearly about to break through S1 and targeting S2 at 137.14 seems like a fair bet despite the oversold RSI. Usually by 8 a.m. volumes are higher, but it's probably safe to say a lot of traders are waiting this afternoon's data. Europe's main benchmarks closed down yesterday as more countries joined the AstraZeneca ban. Not helping is the developing brew over the Irish backstop agreement, which the US alleges England is violating. The European Commission yesterday announced it had launched formal infringement steps. Still ahead this morning, economic sentiment in Germany and across the Union. Asian equities are up this morning, even in Japan and Hong Kong, where the Nikkei and Hang Seng are tagging on about 0.5%. Industrial production in Japan was up in January by a considerable 4.3% month-on-month. In the US, solar panel installations are expected to quadruple over the coming decade, thanks to extended subsidies. The total could power up to 40% of today's homes, according to Reuters. Meanwhile, oil prices are down this morning for a third day in a row, as stockpiles continue rising ahead of tonight's API report, and fears of yet another lockdown in Europe pose threats to demand. We have a symmetrical triangle quite fully developed and a neutral RSI just this side of oversold, and it's rising. Both hint at bullishness, and considering a huge stocks rise over the past couple of months, well, eventually someone's going to need some oil, and it may as well be tonight. So, again, the API report at 9:30, by which time we know if we have a break to the upside or just a tease. Shaw Communications in Canada is up today as it prepares for its $26 billion takeover by Rogers Communication to create the nation's second-largest media conglomerate. Ahead of its earnings report today, Volkswagen says cost cuts are expected to increase profits this coming year. And in China, the government has ordered Alibaba to divest of its media holdings, which it sees as a threat to official media channels. Bloomberg reports that PM Jinping plans to go after platform companies that have amassed data and market power to curb their influence. His eyes are now set on Tencent Holdings Limited. They have a $100 billion plus empire. That after he silences Jack Ma. On the daily chart, Alibaba, meanwhile, seems to have hit long-term support at 226 and probably can't fall that much lower, while on the minute chart we can see a clear uptrend. After yesterday's double top, the oversold RSI has been recovering, volumes are growing, and that bullish engulf from this morning seems to be good news. We can only hope that President Xi realizes the importance of a strong corporate parachute. And so at the halfway mark of the week, we bid you all adieu and happy trading.